Right now, you're operating at maybe 20% of your actual cognitive capacity, and that's not an accident. You've been conditioned to suppress the most powerful parts of your brain, the parts that see manipulation, calculate power, and execute without emotion. This isn't motivation, this is activation. You're about to learn why your brain has been running on safe mode your entire life, and how Machiavelli discovered the switch that the top 1% of people flip every single morning. By the end of this video, you'll either activate capabilities you didn't know you had, or you'll go back to sleep and wonder why everyone else seems to be playing a different game. The choice is yours, but here's what I know. The masses will click away in the next 30 seconds. You won't. Because something in you already knows you're operating below your potential. Let's prove it. Here's the lie you've been sold since childhood. Use your whole brain, think positive, be yourself, and success will follow. It won't. Because what they don't tell you is that the most powerful cognitive functions, strategic prediction, emotional detachment, tactical deception, threat assessment, these have been labeled as dark or manipulative or toxic. You've been taught to suppress them, to ignore the part of your brain that calculates, that sees through social facades, that plans 10 moves ahead. And here's why. A population that can't read power dynamics is easier to control. A population that mistakes niceness for strategy is easier to exploit. A population that's been convinced their natural predatory instincts are problematic will never compete with those who've kept theirs sharp. You've been running on safe mode. Low power, reduced threat, manageable. Meanwhile, the people at the top in business, politics, relationships, they're accessing cognitive functions you've been told don't exist or shouldn't be used. Machiavelli wrote about this 500 years ago, and they buried his work under moral panic for a reason. Because the moment you activate your full cognitive range, you become dangerous. Not dangerous to others. Dangerous to the systems that need you predictable, emotional, and reactive. This video is the activation sequence. But I need you to understand, once you see how your brain has been handicapped, you can't unsee it, and you won't be able to go back to comfortable ignorance. Are you ready for that? Let's begin. Point 1. Emotional detachment, the first forbidden capability. Your emotions are not insights, they're weather. And right now, you're letting weather determine your strategy. Every decision filtered through how you feel is a decision made blind. Machiavelli said, "The man who is too good will meet his ruin among the many who are not good." What he meant, your emotions, your goodness, your empathy, your guilt are being weaponized against you by people who've learned to operate without them. You're bringing feelings to a calculation fight. Your limbic system evolved for tribal survival, not modern power dynamics. When you make emotionally driven decisions, you're using Stone Age software for digital age problems. Detachment isn't sociopathy, it's operating system separation. You feel the emotions, you just don't let them drive. Here's how you use this. Tomorrow, when someone tries to guilt you, manipulate you, or emotionally leverage you, pause for 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, your prefrontal cortex reclaims control from your amygdala. You see the tactic clearly. You respond strategically, not emotionally. Specific action steps. Identify your 3 biggest emotional triggers: guilt, anger, fear of rejection. Next time one is activated, label it out loud. This is a guilt trigger. Wait 3 seconds before responding. Ask yourself, what would someone with no emotional investment do here? Do that. But here's the price. People will call you cold. They'll say you've changed, because you have. You've stopped being manipulatable, and they'll resent it. Weak person gets guilt-tripped into working late, again, sacrificing family time because they feel bad saying no. Powerful person recognizes the guilt tactic, says, "I understand this is urgent for you, and I'm unavailable after 6 p.m., and turns off their phone without a second thought. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I feel, but I don't obey. But here's where it gets dark. Because emotional detachment is just the entry point. What I'm about to show you next is the cognitive function they truly don't want you to access. Point 2. The pattern recognition you've been taught to ignore. You already know what's going to happen. You've always known, but you've been trained to ignore your predictive instincts and call them judgmental or cynical. Stop it. Sun Tzu said, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Translation: your brain is constantly running threat assessment and behavioral prediction algorithms. But social conditioning has taught you to override them in favor of giving people the benefit of the doubt. That's why you keep being surprised by predictable betrayals. Your anterior cingulate cortex is designed for pattern recognition and prediction. When someone shows you who they are, through micro-expressions, speech patterns, behavioral consistency, your brain logs it. But your socialized self overrides it with hope, politeness, or wishful thinking. Powerful people don't override, they listen. Here's how you use this. Start tracking predictions. When you meet someone new, write down your first instinct about them: trustworthy, manipulative, ally, threat. Don't act on it yet, just track it. In 6 months, review your notes. You'll be shocked at how accurate your suppressed instincts were. Specific action steps. Keep a prediction journal for 30 days. Write your gut instinct about people, situations, outcomes. Don't judge the instinct, just record it. After outcomes occur, review accuracy. Start trusting your pattern recognition over your politeness. The cost: you'll have to accept that you've ignored red flags before, that you chose hope over data. That's uncomfortable. Do it anyway. Weak person ignores 3 warning signs from a new business partner because I don't want to be negative, then acts shocked when they're betrayed 6 months later. Powerful person trusts their pattern recognition, keeps the relationship transactional and guarded, and is completely unsurprised when the red flags manifest as predicted. Comment this if you're done ignoring your instincts. My gut was right. This next one is the part they don't want you to know, because once you master this cognitive function, you become nearly impossible to deceive. Point 3. How to see lies before they're finished being told. People lie to you constantly. Friends, partners, bosses, media, and you nod along because you've been taught that calling out deception is rude. Meanwhile, you're building your life on false information. Machiavelli warned, men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. What he's saying: people want to believe lies that serve their comfort. Your brain is capable of detecting deception, micro-expressions, linguistic inconsistencies, narrative gaps, but you've been trained to suppress that function to be nice. Your brain's default mode network runs constant background credibility checks. When someone's story doesn't align, timeline inconsistencies, emotional affect mismatch, too much detail or too little, your DMN flags it. But conscious you has been taught to ignore these flags and trust people. That's not kindness. That's negligence. Here's how you use this. Listen for 3 deception markers. Over-explanation, liars add unnecessary detail. Temporal vagueness, around that time I think it was. Emotional mismatch, claiming sadness with no facial muscle activation. When you detect 2 or more, you're likely being lied to. Don't confront, just file it as data. Specific action steps. In your next 3 conversations, focus purely on listening. Watch for the 3 markers above. When detected, ask 1 clarifying question. Liars will add more inconsistency. Store this information, don't reveal you know. Adjust your trust and information sharing accordingly. The cost: you'll realize how often you're lied to. It will shatter some comfortable illusions about people you trust, but you'll also stop being blindsided. Weak person believes every explanation gets taken advantage of repeatedly, then blames themselves for not seeing it coming. Powerful person catches deception early, adjusts their strategy accordingly, and is never surprised when the truth eventually surfaces because they already knew. If you're ready to stop being lied to, comment. I see through it. What I'm about to tell you next is the function that separates those who survive from those who dominate. Pay attention. Point 4. The 10-move advantage. Thinking in timelines, you're thinking in days, they're thinking in years. And that's why they're winning. Your brain is capable of extended timeline projection. You just never learn to activate it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. But if you do concern yourself with the future, do so with the same thoughtfulness you bring to the present." Modern translation: most people can't hold a strategy longer than their current emotion. You can train yourself to see the board 10 moves out while everyone else is reacting to the current square. Your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex handles long-term planning and delayed gratification. But dopamine-driven social media, instant gratification culture, and reactive thinking have atrophied this capability. When you reactivate timeline projection, you stop trading long-term power for short-term comfort. Here's how you use this. Before making any decision, run the 3 timeline test. Where does this put me in 24 hours? Where does this put me in 6 months? Where does this put me in 3 years? If the answer to question 3 is worse than your current trajectory, don't do it, no matter how good it feels now. Specific action steps. List your 3 biggest current decisions. Run each through the 3 timeline test. Write down the 3-year outcome of each choice. Choose the option with the best 3-year result. Accept short-term discomfort for long-term dominance. The cost? You'll have to sacrifice short-term pleasures, approval, and comfort. You'll watch others party while you build. But in 3 years, the gap will be undeniable. Weak person takes the promotion with the higher title and marginally better pay, not seeing that it's a dead-end position that will cap their growth in 2 years. Powerful person turns down the flashy title, takes the less prestigious role with better learning opportunities, and in 3 years has skills that make them irreplaceable and highly paid. Comment if you're thinking in years now. I play the long game. This next capability is the one that makes people call you intimidating. Good. Let them be intimidated. Point 5. The power of what you don't say. Every word you speak is a data point someone can use against you. Powerful people speak less than you think. Weak people explain everything. Which are you? Machiavelli advised, never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. But here's the deeper truth. The ultimate deception is letting people deceive themselves about you through your silence. When you stop over-explaining, oversharing, and over-justifying, people project onto you whatever they need to see, and you remain unknown. Unknowable means unmanipulatable. Your brain's language centers are directly wired to your reward systems. Talking feels good. You get social feedback, validation, connection. But every sentence is also a vulnerability map. Strategic silence activates your superior temporal sulcus to read others while revealing nothing yourself. Information asymmetry is power. Here's how you use this. Cut your word count in half in every interaction this week. When someone asks you a question, pause for 3 seconds before answering. Answer with 50% fewer words than you normally would. Watch how much more they talk, reveal, and expose their motivations while you gather data. Specific action steps. In your next 5 conversations, speak half as much. When asked about yourself, redirect with a question. Practice the phrase, I prefer to keep that private. Let uncomfortable silences sit, don't fill them. Notice how much more power you have when you're a mystery. The cost. People will call you closed off or hard to read. They're actually saying, I can't manipulate you and it frustrates me. Accept this as confirmation you're doing it right. Weak person overshares their plans, dreams, and strategies to anyone who asks, then is shocked when those same people undermine them or steal their ideas. Powerful person keeps strategic silence, redirects personal questions, and only reveals information on a need-to-know basis. They execute in silence and appear successful overnight. If you understand the power of silence, comment, I speak less, I control more. This final capability is the one that changes everything. Because once you master this, there's no going back to who you were. Point 6. Kill who you were to become who you need to be. Your brain is capable of radical identity shifts, but you're carrying around versions of yourself that died years ago. Old loyalties, old values, old definitions of good person. They're anchors. Cut them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. But here's the brutal truth he's pointing at. You get to decide what you value. Not your parents, not your culture, not your past self. When you activate ruthless prioritization, you surgically remove everything, people, habits, beliefs that don't serve your designed future. Your medial prefrontal cortex handles self-concept and identity. Most people's self-concept is an accumulated mess of other people's expectations. When you activate conscious identity design, you stop being a reaction to your history and become an architect of your future. This requires killing old versions of yourself. It's cognitive violence. It's necessary. Here's how you use this. List every person, habit, belief, and commitment in your life. Next to each, right, moves me forward or holds me back. Anything that's not actively moving you forward is holding you back. There is no neutral. Now comes the hard part. Delete, distance from, or diminish everything in the holds me back column. Specific action steps. Complete the full audit above, 2 to 3 hours, uninterrupted. Identify the top 5 holds me back items. Create a 90-day elimination plan for each. Accept that some people will hate the new you. Do it anyway. The cost: you will lose people. You will disappoint expectations. You will be called selfish, changed, not yourself anymore. Correct. You're not your old self. Your old self wasn't winning. Weak person maintains friendships from high school that drain their time and energy because we have history, while wondering why they can't level up. Powerful person ruthlessly curates their circle to only include people who challenge, elevate, and align with their future, and sleeps perfectly fine knowing some people from their past no longer have access. Comment if you're ready to kill your old self. I am becoming. So where are you right now? Let me tell you where you think you are. You think you're awake, aware, operating at full capacity. You're not. Here's the gap between where you think you are and where you actually are. You think you're making conscious decisions. You're actually running scripts written by your conditioning, your trauma, your need for approval. You think you're strategic. You're actually reactive, emotional, and predictable. You think you're at your potential. You're operating at maybe 20 to 30% of your cognitive capability because the other 70% has been labeled dangerous and suppressed. But here's what you're about to become. You're about to step into the identity of what I call a cognitive sovereign. Someone who operates from detachment, not emotion, sees patterns before they complete, detects deception in real time, thinks in timelines, not moments, controls information asymmetry, ruthlessly designs their own identity. This is your natural state. This is what your brain was built for. You've just been running on safe mode your entire life. And here's the point of no return I warned you about. Once you activate these capabilities, once you start seeing how you've been manipulated, how predictable everyone is, how much power you've been suppressing, you can't go back. You can't unhear the lies. You can't unsee the patterns. You can't return to comfortable ignorance. Some of you are feeling uncomfortable right now. Good. Discomfort is your cognitive operating system updating. Discomfort means you're expanding. The masses will close this video and forget it in an hour. You won't, because something in you recognizes that you've been playing at half power your entire life. Now comes the choice. You have 3 choices right now. Choice 1, close this video. Forget what you heard, go back to sleep. Continue operating at 20% capacity while wondering why powerful people seem to play a different game. That's available to you. Choice 2, understand everything I just said intellectually, nod along, feel inspired for 24 hours, and change nothing. This is what 90% of people who make it this far will do. They'll consume, they'll agree, and they'll stay exactly where they are. Choice 3, activate. You start the Detachment Protocol tomorrow. You begin tracking your predictions today. You cut your word count in half starting now. You audit your life this weekend and begin the ruthless pruning process Monday. You step into the identity of cognitive sovereign and you never look back. But I need you to understand what that choice costs. Moving up means killing parts of yourself. The version of you that needs everyone to like them, dead. The version that avoids conflict, dead. The version that hopes and wishes instead of calculates and executes, dead. You're going to disappoint people. You're going to be called cold, changed, different, because you will be different. Are you willing to pay that price? Because if you are, here's what I need you to do. Hit subscribe right now, not later. Now, because this channel is the continued activation sequence. Every video is designed to upgrade your cognitive operating system. Turn on notifications, because the algorithms will try to bury this content. They prefer you comfortable and manageable. And comment this final affirmation below. I am a cognitive sovereign. I activate what I've suppressed. I become who I was designed to be. Say it out loud as you type it. Let your brain hear you claim this identity. The masses are asleep, the top 1% are awake. You just got the activation code. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Welcome to full power.